in this greeting routine, we always approach the person that we want to practice with. We never let the person approach us, because that can make a dog overstimulated and jump and pull, and some dogs have bigger issues than that. So we always have the person stand somewhere, we approach them, we have him sit at least 5 or 6 feet away, maybe even 8 feet, depending on the situation, but definitely give a little space between you and the person that we're greeting. Reach over, give him a reward there for the dog, a little treat. He stayed in a sit stay. He waits till I come back next to him with my right hand. Stays in a sit. Keep that leash loose. With my right hand, I'm going to pat his chest and say, go say hi. He goes over there, gets the treat, gets petted. Come. I call him to come. Good. I'm going to step into him. We do this in a way that you're using a lot of the training. Sit. You've got the sit stay. You've got the greeting somebody in a respectful manner, not jumping. He waits till I come back. You've got the release command. Go. Meeting somebody and not jumping. Come. Calling him back to come. Good. Stepping into him. And if you add this little turn, sit. That's a very important turn and very important move in dog training. Your body's literally hurting him. It's a very dominant body language thing, but it's very effective. Makes the dog feel like you're in charge, but you're doing it in a very safe way that he likes, and he wants to feel like you're in charge, right? So also when you go left, because he's on your left, keeps the leash loose. He's drawn back next to you and there's no tight leash. No. If he tries to get up before you release him, you see how badly he wants to go over and say hi because he wants to treat, but he has to exert self-control to wait to be allowed to go over there. He's very into flies, and so he's interested in the flies right now. So we're going to pat his chest, and we're going to say, go say hi. Come. So next time, do this so he can't run over. You're going to step into him again. At the end of that turn, sit. One last time. And we practice this every day with him, with different people every day. And he's gotten really used to greeting people with treats and that he likes, that he maybe hasn't seen all day. No, if he makes a mistake, just do that little turn, reset him. And so you're going to plug anybody into this spot. You're going to be doing this part. Of course, I'm doing your part. And he's going to be much more respectful and calm if he's doing this. And you see he's not jumping. Go. Come. Good. And there's your greeting routine. We walk him up to the mat. We say sit. Yes, he loves to do this. Obviously he wants to run on the mat, but he has to wait for your permission. You're never restraining him. See, he's on a loose leash. He's waiting for you to, with your right hand, pat his chest and say, nope. If he does try to go, it's just a little tap and then release, and it puts him back. Go to your mat and then down. And if he's a little bit crooked at first, it's not a big deal, although there are a couple of ways to straighten him out. One way is just to lure him like this. Without even touching him, you can lure him and kind of get him a little bit straighter on the mat, and that's good. Good, and once he's there, kind of mark that spot. Good. And this is just it's an exercise that's very simple, but it's really a way to show him how to do a very solid downstay, because whatever he learns on this mat, later on, he'll easily be able to do, nope, nope. Good, he'll easily be able to do without the mat. That's why we practice this mat exercise from day one. And then after he's really good at this, we start practicing a downstay in different spots without the mat, and he's able to do it. Good. And it's really, practicing in this way is really the fast track to a rock solid downstay anywhere. He's imprinted in a way that he goes to this mat. Good. And he actually, because he only does one thing on this very specific piece of fabric, he automatically does it, and it's the only thing he ever does, so he learns it faster. And you're still saying the commands, but because dogs learn situationally, then you wouldn't have to say anything, and he would still do this. But you're adding the commands as he's doing it, and just makes those commands that much stronger. Good. This is the only thing he ever does on this mat, this exercise. We do it every day. Now we're working up to about 5 minutes a day. See how he's gone sideways again? We're going to lure him to be straight. So sometimes you draw him forward like this way, and then sideways like that, and he's back straight on the mat. No, make sure he doesn't touch your hand. Good. So we're still working on that. He's only been here for a partial training period, so he definitely is in the middle of learning this, but after a couple of weeks, he's doing pretty well. No, make sure he doesn't touch your hand. He really waits. Nope. Nope. Good. He waits until you withdraw and he takes it off the mat. That takes focus. That'll make him calmer if you do that every time. And it's respect towards you as well. Good. See, now he's starting to do it the way we want him to do it. So this is about as far as we've gotten so far. As you practice this more and more, good, you'll be able to drop the leash as long as you're in a secure area, a yard or your house. Walk farther away. You can see we already have that downstay where we can walk around both ways and he doesn't pop up. That's really important. He always gets rewarded exactly the way you see me doing it here, from in front. Good, say good the instant he takes the reward. When you're going to release him, he only leaves one way, and that's when you come back next to him. You pat your leg and say, okay. Lead him off the mat, have him sit. And then pat his chest and say, go, and he's free. Make sure you always pick this mat up because he's going to want to go jump on it and hang out on it. And whatever you decide to use as his mats, he has this thing where he likes to grab things out of your hands and play. If you have to use both hands until he's better and calmer, so he's not doing that, you can stand on the leash like that and you could fold this up, then you have both hands to work with. But as you practice this mat, as you keep practicing it, he'll get calmer and calmer. There'll be less of this reactive jumping and out of control behavior because it's like doggy meditation. Every time you release him out of this exercise, it's a little bit calmer. Every day, every week, every month you do this, and definitely after a few weeks you'll see another huge difference in him. He gets a little bit calmer. It's just really about quality of how you do this. If you just have 3 minutes a day, do it for 3 minutes a day. What I was telling you earlier is that it doesn't have to be an official training mat like this. It could be a bath mat or whatever you want to use, whatever you want to designate as the special mat. Make sure you put it down. Go get him from wherever he is. He's on a leash. He has to have your permission to go on. He has your permission to come off, just the way you saw me do it, and then you pick it up immediately. So he only goes on this mat and uses it when you allow him to. That's what makes this exercise so powerful.